Hi guys, my name's Wayne. I'm a bit of an amateur model builder, is the best way I can describe it. And I've just finished building my Mobius. It's a Revell Battlestar Galactica model. And here's a video just to show you what I've done. Let me just turn the camera around, so I apologise for the shakiness. Hold on a tick. Now as you can see, there it is. It is actually quite not bad size of a model really. Again, I apologise for the shaky cam. I'm just getting the box. Now that's the box of it. The Revell Battlestar Galactica. You can see in the top corner there, 33.8 centimetres, of 69 parts. Even though it didn't seem like it, to be honest. But the only thing I didn't like was the actual paint job. As you can see on the box, it looks all silver and pretty much one colour. You can see where the main plating is, and then like the main body, and it looks the same colour. Now I didn't want to do that, and as you can see there, I've gone with a light grey on the panelling and a slightly darker grey on the rest of the model, as you can see. Now like I said, I didn't like the silver, pretty much the same paint job. Now if you look, I don't know if you can see that screen there, that is a picture of the Battlestar Galactica by Badass Model Kits, and it's going to be made out of resin. Now it's going to be 24 inches, so it's going to be double the size of that Battlestar model. And as you can see, again apologise for the shaky cam, you can see that is all light grey, and then dark grey for all the other stripes and the engine markings and everything else. So I thought, you know, that's what I'm going to do. Going back to my model. Now I'm going to have some stills after this video, so you'll see what I did. Now when it came to actual assembly, it's not really that hard. It's like I said, once you've completed all the assembly, which again doesn't take that long, it comes to 4 main pieces. You got, again apologise for the shaky cam, you got the 2 side pods, you got the arms, which again are not really that hard to glue in. Then you'll have the headpiece. Now the headpiece is about, you can see, you know, all that there. Now that was about 4 to 5 different pieces. You had like the bottom, which you had to put a lid on. That one was like a hollow housing. Then you had to put a back piece, a back panel in, which actually steps out and it sits into a little stepping housing on the back here when you glue it on. But the best thing you can do is when you actually come to painting it, don't glue it all together, because this section here, excuse me again, let me just lie that back there, that section here glues into that, but if you glue that in first, you're not going to be able to get them guns in. I don't know if that will do the detailing. There you go, you will be able to get the guns in. So the best thing you can do is leave it in the 4 pieces, paint it first, then put your guns in. But I found that when I did the primer and then the 2 coats of dark grey and 2 coats of light grey, the guns actually just sat in. I didn't even need to glue them, so I was quite chuffed with that. Now when it comes, let me just turn the camera around. Now when it comes to actually painting the model itself, I use acrylic paint. I use this paint, it's called Revell Aquacolor. I use brush, I've never used airbrushing, and I've never really used spray paint. But as I said, it's acrylic, so again the acrylic won't go down. So I tried it, wouldn't have it. It was like when you wash a glass, you know, a glass beaker in washing up liquid, and all the water starts draining off and evaporating. Sorry if you can't see my face so much. And basically, that's the effect it had. So I thought, well, I'm gonna have to. I tried using the Revell Aquacolor primer, but it wouldn't have it. Again, it was like really bad finish. So let me just turn the camera around again. What I actually used was this thing called Army Model Painter. It's in a primer matte black. It's a 400ml tin, spray tin, and it cost $7.95 off eBay. Off of, I can't remember what the seller's name is called, but it's called thearmypainter.com. It's actually cheaper to buy it off eBay than the website because you've got to pay all the postage costs. And to be honest, it went down pretty well. Again, you'll see some still photos later on in this video. And I've never used spray paint before, and like I said, it went down really well first time. Had a few touch-ups in the nooks and crannies over there, in the nooks and crannies. You know, when I finished, when it dried, I had to redo it. But again, it went down really well. And then let's just move that out of the way. And what I did is I went 2 coats of the dark grey all over the model, no matter where. And then on the plating, as you can see, I went 2 coats of dark grey. Now another thing that's good about this model, I don't know if you can see it in there, is the actual housing for the flight pod stroke landing bay. Now in FTL mode, so again sorry for the shake cam, these would actually fold into the Battlestar itself, and then they would slip into that housing there for FTL mode warp drive, and then they'd come out for battle. Now on the Mobius kit, a friend, well, I follow this guy on YouTube called Caroline, and he bought the Mobius kit. Now in the Mobius kit it didn't have them decals, but on the Revell they've done quite a nice job of it actually. They didn't go in perfect, as you could probably see with that scene there, because it was a pain in the arse to get them in. But eventually they did go in, because I mean, you can, with the Mobius kit, if you did want to fill that in, you use the Paragraphics kits, I don't know what they're called now, the Paragraphics, I can't remember what they're called now because I've never used them before, and you basically glue them in and then you paint over them. But like I said, I think Revell have done a pretty sweet job of that one. Another thing I wanted to tell you about was the flight pods there, that decal. Now when you come to put that in, let me just get the instructions. I'm just going to have to fold the paper over a bit until I find the right page. Where is it? There we go. And as you can see on the instructions, you get the bottom of the flight deck and you glue that panel into there, into the housing, and then it says, where is it? Use the decals. Now when you come to painting it, it says to use the clear gloss. I wouldn't bother, because like I said, it would be like, the model itself is like a creamy coloured, almost resin look. So what I did is I used the light grey, like on that, the same paint, and I painted the flight deck and all the inside as well. I didn't use the I didn't buy the Paragraphics you know, kits for the girders, which you can actually go across there with, or the Paragraphics kits for that Galactica. I just used the bog standard decals. But one thing I did want to show you is when you put that in, there's like a channel down the side, runs down all the way down the side and then there. Don't be tempted to fill that in, because on the bottom section here, on the bottom underneath, is like a tab all the way down, and it actually sits in that housing. But what you want to do first is, once you put the decal in, seal it with your varnish, whatever you use, and because if you put the glue on it, some glues actually melt the decals. But like I said, let it sit in the channels. Another thing as well, when you sit, you know, let me fit my finger in there. When you put the top on, it won't sit flush. That top part there, as you can see, it says it's going to sit flush, but when you sit there, you'll see a gap. Now what you're best off doing is either using some kind of plastic bulldog clips, or do what I did. I used my son's got long hair. I used some of his old hair bands, and I wrapped them a few times around to hold it into place, and it, like I said, it went down pretty sweet. And you know, leave about half an hour to an hour to dry. The guns again, like I said, they, I don't know if you could see them on this. like I said, on my model they actually sat in quite well, so I didn't need to glue them in. And that one there is, like I said, I don't know if you, there you go, there's a better view. I did a bit of airbrushing, dry brushing. I've never done it before, so I just dry brushed some of the battle damage on there. I went a bit overboard on the head, as you can see in between the decals, but I think not too bad of a job. That blue section there on the engines, he told me to do that. I just put it on, and then I don't know if you can see that. I didn't bother painting the clear sections in a bit more. I just painted it grey and the blue, and just went over with a bit of a dry brush. Now when it comes to putting the arms in, you have to wait for it to click into place. Now I've read on Amazon reviews that the arms can be a pain in the arse to put in, but like I said, I think they went in pretty sweet. Pretty sweet indeed, and like I said, the glue, it's set pretty quickly. And the stand, I've just used the primer on it. I'm going to go black all around the lettering. I'm going to stay with the black and I'm going to paint it gold. But like I said, I didn't really think I needed to really pay that much attention to. I can do that at a later date. As you can see, it's in the background of my Titanic model. I've also done the Mobius Viper. I did that about April last year. If I'd have waited till December, I could have bought them the Revell at half the price. And I've also, excuse my shaky cam again, that's some of my cars I've got, is the 30th anniversary Silent Raider from Revell. Again, I've made it look pristine. I did that about 2007. Not sure whether to dry brush it. I don't know. Just put that back up there. But again, apologise for the shake cam to move that around from my ugly face to scare your kids with. Again, it's not a bad kit. Not a bad kit at all. I know that Mobius are re-releasing the TOS, the original series Battlestar Viper, which I've been after for a while. And I wouldn't mind getting the Galactica with that as well, because I've already got the Raider. And I'm also thinking about buying the Mobius version of the Silent Raider. Unless Revell release it, and then I'll probably buy the Revell one. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I haven't bored you too much. But again, that's my build of the Battlestar. And coming next is the still shots. Thanks for watching, guys, and happy modelling. See ya.